if both people in the marriage aren't sexually driven, then no need to force sex. I love the, the name, the profile name. It suits the question. I'm trying. I'm trying, yeah. I'm trying. Yeah, I agree with you that it's true. People, you can't force people for any kind of sexual stuff. It's not on. I would also say on that note that, look, marriage or a sexual relationship, an intimate relationship, will be centered or orbiting, let's say it will orbit intimacy conceptually, because that's the nature of the relationship. So let's say I had a business relationship with someone. We both are invested in a company. Then our relationship is orbiting finance, business. That's the kind of thing that we are orbiting around. This is what has brought us together. And intimacy is more than just sex. It's not just sex. In fact, often this is something that is confused. Many people think, and many hurting people, there's many souls that are hurting, and through this journey of life they want to heal that pain, and that that piled with the urges and instincts, natural instincts that we have, that coupled with the instinct, many people feel that it is sex that they are seeking. And people are seeking sex. I'm not saying they're not seeking sex, but you see what they are, and the dopamine rush does give a momentary numbing. So the dopaminergic drives, and then the release of dopamine, and a person does get that high and the kind of orgasmic pleasures, but it doesn't afterwards. They're still devoid. And this is why some people after sex can be even more depressed. And it may be because they need the dopamine again, but it may be that certain people in psychological studies will report feeling lonely after sex, after sexual intimacy or sexual contact. Now, not contact, actual sex. So you see, because what people think they're seeking is sex, but what they're in essence seeking is intimacy. To be touched, to be held, to be so intimately close to someone, to be fulfilled sensually, but through emotions, to complete a void. This is what many people are seeking. Obviously, the actual sex comes along with that as well, but they're not necessarily the same thing. So what I was saying is, in relationships, intimate relationships, they center around orbit intimacy. So if one partner is not somebody that is drawn to intimacy, or is not drawn to, is asexual, let's say, and the other partner isn't, they are sexual, or they are seeking intimacy, then they are naturally going to be this is a challenge. Okay, this is naturally an issue, and it needs to be addressed. It should not just go unaddressed, because people need to, because this is going to cause some conflict, because there is a conflict of what you're orbiting here in the very essence of this relationship. So either people talk about this, they explain, they try to come to some understanding, they try to, maybe there's some, they can work their relationship, build themselves, or maybe they can't, and they've realized that, look, this is not the right thing, this is not the right person for me, because I'm in this is only going to lead to conflict, and it's not going to work, in which case they gracefully go their own way and they find someone that is compatible with them. Both ways, somebody that's asexually compatible or somebody that's sexually compatible. But what I'm trying to say is there is a maturity. Don't you see, everybody's developing at their own pace. Don't force your pace onto someone. But maybe you can work things out, but it should definitely be addressed. Maybe you can't work them out, but then that should be acknowledged and accepted, and people move on. They think, well, there's no point just making each other's lives difficult. I mean, what's that? Hum bhi doobe hain, tumhe bhi le doobenge sanam. I'm drowning, I'm going to drown you as well, my darling, as the poet says. So, yeah, most people aren't asexual. I agree. I don't think most people are, but if it's a spectrum, people are placed at different. Some people are more on the spectrum as being sexual than other people. So, and usually people can find a middle ground, but sometimes they can't. And because people don't have maturity to understand this, then tantrums and people throwing a fit, and then this is just, you don't want it to be toxic.